All the World's a Stage by William Shakespeare. Read for LibriVox.org by TechSavvy. www.techsavvy.wordpress.com. All the world's a stage. All the world's a stage, and all men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail, unwillingly to school, and then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths, and bearded like the pod, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good capon line, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice, turning again to a childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Berg, subtitled A Dream, by Herman Melville. Read for LibriVox.org by Jeff Chestnut. I saw a ship of material build, her standards set, her brave apparel on, directed as by madness mere, against a solid iceberg steer, nor budget, though the infatuate ship went down. The impact made huge ice cubes fall, sullen in tons that crashed the deck. But that one avalanche was all, no other movement, save the foundering wreck. Along the spurs of ridges pale, not any slenderest shaft and frail, a prism over glass-green gorges lone, toppled, or lace or traceries fine, nor pendant drops in grot or mine, were jarred when the stunned ship went down. Nor soul the gulls in cloud that wheeled, circling one snow-flanked peak afar, but nearer foul the floes that skimmed, and crystal beaches felt no jar. No thrill transmitted stirred the lock of jackstraw nettle ice at base, towers endermined by waves, the block, atilt impending, kept their place. Seals dozing sleek on sliddery ledges slipped never when by loftier edges, through the inertia overthrown, the impetuous ship in bafflement went down. Hard berg, methought, so cold, so vast, with mortal damps self-overcast, exhaling still thy dankish breath, adrift dissolving, bound for death. Though lumpish thou a lumbering one, a lumbering lubber'd loitering slow, impingers rue thee add go slow, sounding thy precipice below, nor stir the slimy slug that sprawls along thy dead indifference of walls. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Distant Time by Rabindranath Tagore. Read for LibriVox.org by TechSavvy. www.techsavvy.wordpress.com. Distant Time. I know not from what distant time thou art ever coming nearer to meet me. Thy sun and stars can never keep thee hidden from me for aye. In many a morning and eve thy footsteps have been heard, and thy messenger has come within my heart and called me in secret. I know not only why today my life is all astir, and a feeling of tremulous joy is passing through my heart. It is as if the time were come to wind up my work, and I feel in the air a faint smell of thy sweet presence. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
For Once Then, Something by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Others taunt me with having knelt at well curbs always wrong to the light, so never seeing deeper down in the well than where the water gives me back in a shining surface picture me myself in the summer heaven, godlike, looking out of a wreath of fern and cloud puffs. Once, when trying with chin against a well curb, I discerned, as I thought, beyond the picture, through the picture, a something white, uncertain, something more of the depths. And then I lost it. Water came to rebuke the too clear water. One drop fell from a fern, and lo, a ripple shook whatever it was lay there at bottom, blurred it, blotted it out. What was that whiteness? Truth? A pebble of quartz? For once, then, something. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Read for LibriVox.org by Matthew Fryman. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain, courtesy of LibriVox.org.
Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. Read for LibriVox.org by Dean McCollum. May 20th, 2013. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did jar and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the moan raths outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought, so rested he by the tumtum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the togy wood, and burbled as a king. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, callooh-callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the moan brass outgrave. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Leaden Echo and the Golden Echo by Gerard Manley Hopkins. Read for LibriVox.org by Peter O'Sullivan. How to keep? Is there any, is there none such, nowhere known some? Bow or brooch or braid or brace, lace, latch or catch or key to keep back beauty, keep it, beauty, 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 from vanishing away? Oh, is there no frowning of these wrinkles, ranked wrinkles, deep down, no waving off of these most mournful messengers, still messengers, sad and stealing messengers of gray? No, there's none, oh no, there's none. Nor can you long be what you now are called fair. Do what you may, do what you may, and wisdom is early to despair. Be beginning, since no nothing can be done to keep at bay age and age's evils, hoar hair, ruck and wrinkle, drooping, dying, death's worst, winding sheets, tombs and worms, and tumbling to decay. So be beginning to despair. Oh, there's none, no, 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 there's none. Be beginning to despair, 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 despair. Spare! There is one, yes, I have one. Hush there! Only not within seeing of the sun, not within the singeing of the strong sun's tall sun's tinging, or treacherous the tainting of the earth's air. Somewhere, elsewhere there is, ah, well, where, one. Yes, I can tell such a key. I do know such a place, where whatever's prized and passes of us, everything that's fresh and fast flying of us, seems to us sweet of us, and swiftly away with, done away with, undone, undone, done with, soon done with, and yet dearly and dangerously sweet of us. The wimpled water dimpled, not by morning matched face, the flower of beauty, fleece of beauty, too apt too fleet, never fleets more, fastened with the tenderest truth to its own best being and its loveliness of youth. It is an everlastingness of, oh, it is an all youth. Come then, your ways and airs and looks, locks, maiden gear, gallantry and gaiety and grace. Winning ways, airs, innocent, maiden manners, sweet looks, loose locks, long locks, love locks, gay gear, going gallant girl grace. Resign them, sign them, seal them, send them, motion them with breath, and with sighs, soaring sighs, deliver them. Beauty in the ghost, deliver it, early now, long before death. Give beauty back, beauty, 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 back to God, beauty's self and beauty's giver. See, not a hair is, not an eyelash, not the least lash lost. Every hair is hair of the head, numbered. Nay, what we had light-handed left in surly the mere mould will have waked and have waxed and have walked with the wind what while we slept, this side, that side, hurling a heavy-headed hundredfold what while we slumbered. Oh, then, weary then, why, when the thing we freely forfeit is kept with fonder a care kept than we could have kept it, kept far with fonder a care, and we should have lost it, finer, fonder a care kept. Where kept? Do but tell us, where kept, where? Yonder. What high is that? We follow, now we follow. Yonder, yes, yonder, yonder, yonder. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Leave-Taking by Algernon Charles Swinburne. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Let us go hence, my songs, she will not hear. Let us go hence together without fear. Keep silence now, for singing time is over, and over all old things and all things dear. She loves not you nor me as all we love her. Yea, though we sang as angels in her ear, she would not hear. Let us rise up and part, she will not know. Let us go seaward as the great winds go, full of blown sand and foam. What help is here? There is no help, for all these things are so, and all the world is bitter as a tear. And how these things are, though ye strove to show, she would not know. Let us go home, and hence she will not weep. We gave love many dreams and days to keep, flowers without scent, and fruits that would not grow, saying, If thou wilt thrust in thy sickle and reap. All is reaped now, no grass is left to mow, and we that sowed, though all we fell on sleep, she would not weep. Let us go hence and rest, she will not love. She shall not hear us if we sing hereof, nor see love's ways, how sore they are and steep. Come hence, let be, lie still, it is enough. Love is a barren sea, bitter and deep, and though she saw all heaven in flower above, she would not love. Let us give up, go down, she will not care, though all the stars made gold of all the air, and the sea moving saw before it move one moonflower, making all the foam flowers fair. Though all the waves went over us, and drove deep down the stifling lips and drowning hair, she would not care. Let us go hence, she will not see. Sing all once more together. Surely she too, remembering days and words that were, will turn a little towards us, sighing. But we are hence, we are gone, as though we had not been there. Nay, and though all men seeing had pity on me, she would not see. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Der Mann im Keller by Eugene Field. Song for LibriVox.org by Claudia Salto. How cool and fair the cellar where my throne dusky cask is, to do nothing but just to sing and drown the time my task is. The cooper is resolved to please, and answering to my winking, he fills me up cup after cup for drinking, drinking, drinking. Begrudge me not this cozy spot in which I am reclining. Why, who would burst with envious thirst when he can live by whining? A roseate hue seems to imbue the world on which I'm blinking. My fellow men, I love them when I'm drinking, drinking, drinking. And yet I think the more I drink, it's more and more I pine for. Oh, such as I, forever dry, God made this land of Rhine for. And there is bliss in knowing this, as to the floor I'm sinking. I've wronged no man, and never can, while drinking, drinking, drinking. End of song. This recording is in the public domain.
to an Expiring Frog by Charles Dickens. Read for LibriVox.org by Peter O'Sullivan. Can I view thee panting, lying on thy stomach, without sighing? Can I unmoved see thee dying on a log, expiring frog? Say, have fiends in shape of boys, with wild halloo and brutal noise, hunted thee from marshy joys, with a dog, expiring frog? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Recorded for LibriVox.org by Matthew Fryman. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked on one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I marked the first for another day, yet knowing how ways lead on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. End of poem. This has been a public domain recording for LibriVox.org.
The Sorrows of Werther by William Makepeace Thackeray. Read for LibriVox.org by Claudia Salto. Werther had a love for Charlotte such as words could never utter. Would you know how first he met her? She was cutting bread and butter. Charlotte was a married lady, and a moral man was Werther, and for all the wealth of Indies would do nothing for to hurt her. So he sighed and pined and ogled, and his passion boiled and bubbled, till he blew his silly brains out, and no more was by it troubled. Charlotte, having seen his body borne before her on a shutter, like a well-conducted person, went on cutting bread and butter. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Sound of the Trees by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org by GlibQuip. I wonder about the trees. Why do we wish to bear forever the noise of these more than another noise so close to our dwelling place? We suffer them by the day, till we lose all measure of pace, and fixity in our joys, and acquire a listening air. They are that talks of going, but never gets away, and that talks no less for knowing, as it grows wiser and older, that now it means to stay. My feet tug at the floor, and my head sways to my shoulder sometimes when I watch the trees sway from the window or the door. I shall set forth for somewhere. I shall make the reckless choice some day when they are in voice and tossing so as to scare the white clouds over them on. I shall have less to say, but I shall be gone. End of poem. This is a recording in the public domain.
Tears by Anonymous. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Weep you no more, sad fountains. What need you flow so fast? Look how the snowy mountains heaven's sun doth gently waste. But my son's heavenly eyes view not your weeping, that now lies sleeping softly, now softly lies sleeping. Sleep is a reconciling, a rest that peace begets. Doth not the sun rise smiling when fair at even he sets? Rest you then, rest, sad eyes, melt not in weeping. while she lies sleeping softly, now softly lies sleeping. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To a friend who had declared his intention of writing no more poetry, by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Algie Pug, Perth, Western Australia. Dear Charles, whilst yet thou wert a babe, I ween that genius plunged thee in that wizard fount high Castaly, and sureties of thy faith, that pity and simplicity stood by, and promised for thee that thou shouldst renounce the world's low cares and lying vanities, steadfast and rooted in the heavenly muse, and washed and sanctified to poesy. Yes, thou wert plunged, but with forgetful hand held, as by Thetis erst her warrior son, and with those recreant, unbaptized heels thou'rt flying from thy bounden ministries. So sore it seems, and burdensome a task, to weave unwithering flowers. But take thou heed, for thou art vulnerable, wild-eyed boy, and I have arrows mystically dipped, such as may stop thy speed. Is thy Burns dead? And shall he die unwept and sink to earth without the meed of one melodious tear? Thy Burns, and nature's own beloved bard, who to the illustrious of his native land so properly did look for patronage. Ghost of Maecenas, hide thy blushing face! They snatched him from the sickle and the plough, to gauge ale firkins. Oh, for shame, return! On a bleak rock, midway the Ionian mount, there stands a lone and melancholy tree, whose aged branches to the midnight blast make solemn music. Pluck its darkest bough, ere yet the unwholesome night dew be exhaled, and weeping wreathe it round thy poet's tomb. Then in the outskirts, where pollutions grow, pick the rank henbane and the dusky flowers of nightshade, or its red and tempting fruit. These with stopped nostril and glove-guarded hand knit in nice intertexture, so to twine the illustrious brow of Scotch nobility. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Tombless Epitaph by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Algie Pug, Perth, Western Australia. 'Tis true, Iconoclastes Satyrane, so call him, for so mingling blame with praise, and smiles with anxious looks his earliest friends, masking his birth name, wont to character his wildwood fancy and impetuous zeal. 'Tis true that, passionate for ancient truths, and honouring with religious love the great of elder times, he hated to excess, with an unquiet and intolerant scorn, the hollow puppets of an hollow age, ever idolatrous, and changing ever its worthless idols. Learning, power, and time, too much of all, thus wasting in vain war of fervid colloquy. Sickness, 'tis true, whole years of weary days besieged him close, even to the gates and inlets of his life. But it is true no less, that strenuous firm, and with a natural gladness, he maintained the citadel unconquered, and in joy was strong to follow the delightful muse, for not a hidden path that to the shades of the beloved Parnassian forest leads, lurked undiscovered by him. Not a rill there issues from the fount of Hippocrene, but he had traced it upward to its source. Through open glade, dark glen, and secret dell, knew the gay wild flowers on its banks, and culled its medicinable herbs. Yea, oft alone, piercing the long neglected holy cave, the haunt obscure of old philosophy, he bade with lifted torch its starry walls sparkle, as erst they sparkled to the flame of odorous lamps, tended by saint and sage. O framed for calmer times and nobler hearts! O studious poet, eloquent for truth! Philosopher, contemning wealth and death, yet docile, childlike, full of life and love. Here, rather than on monumental stone, this record of thy worth thy friend inscribes, thoughtful, with quiet tears upon his cheek. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Written in Northampton County Asylum by John Clare. Read for LibriVox.org by Jackie Nyman. May 2013. Pembroke, Ontario, Canada. Written in Northampton County Asylum. I am. Yet what I am, who cares or knows? My friends forsake me like a memory lost. I am the self-consumer of my woes. They rise and vanish, an oblivious host, shadows of life, whose very soul is lost. And yet I am. I live. Though I am tossed into the nothingness of scorn and noise, into the living sea of waking dream, where there is neither sense of life nor joys, but the huge shipwreck of my own esteem and all that's dear. Even those I loved the best are strange. Nay, they are stranger than the rest. I long for scenes where man has never trod, for scenes where woman never smiled or wept, there to abide with my Creator, God, and sleep as I in childhood sweetly slept, full of high thoughts unborn. So let me lie the grass below, above the vaulted sky. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.